Canterbury.
Question number 10, Stuart Nash.
Thank you. To the Minister of Finance, does the government's privatisation plan include perimeters which would cause it to cancel sales, such as low sale prices or high dividend yields? If so, what are these perimeters?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, in the first place, the government's not getting ahead of itself. It has always said it would get a mandate from New Zealanders before proceeding with the detailed plans for the sale. Our mixed ownership model is about achieving long-term value for taxpayers. Government has said that if it was re-elected, such a program would be spread over 3 to 5 years, which gives the government ample flexibility to adjust to market circumstances. In the current environment, demand from New Zealand investors is likely to be strong. The new NZX 50 index has risen 27% in the past 18 months, and that looks reasonably favourable, at least at the moment.
Stuart Nash.
To the Minister, has the record $900 million of dividends returned to the Crown by the energy SOEs in the last year, on top of an average rate of return of 17.5% over the previous 5 years, caused him to reassess the economic case for selling these highly profitable state-owned assets?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, as I pointed out yesterday, of the $900 million the member is talking about, at least $500 million is a one-off capital release as a result of the sale of assets between Genesis and Meridian. The fact is that until this government came in and lifted the performance of these SOEs, they were pretty abysmal. They're better now, and under the mixed ownership model, they'll improve further.
Stuart Nash.
To the Minister, given 75% of New Zealanders earn below the average wage of $50,000 and only 1.5% earn above $150,000, what percentage of hard-working Kiwi families does he think will be able to afford $4,000 to directly buy shares in an asset they already own?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, New Zealanders will have the opportunity to own these assets in a number of ways. First, the government will retain 51% ownership. Secondly, we would expect significant investment by the New Zealand Super Fund, which holds assets on behalf of all New Zealanders. KiwiSaver funds, which hold assets on...
Point of order, Stuart Nash.
Mr Speaker, I have listened to the other two answers and they have really been off the point. This one really, I don't want to know who will own them, I just want to know what percentage of New Zealanders, just a rough percentage, he thinks will be able to afford to buy these.
Well, order, with respect, the Minister was in the process of explaining why he believes some percentage of New Zealanders will be able to afford to own them. He was talking about the government owning 51%, I think he was going on to talk about funds owning some of these shares, and the member can't expect, when he asks that kind of question, which is a hypothetical question, can't expect a precise answer. I think the Minister has some latitude in how he answers it, and so far he has been answering the question in terms of the why there should be some percentage of New Zealanders able to own those shares. Point of order, Honourable Chairman.
With all due respect, Mr Speaker, the question was about direct ownership, not about indirect ownership via funds or via the taxpayer.
Well, I don't recollect the question being quite that specific. Talked about, if I remember correctly, people with $4,000 be able to be found to own these shares, and I think. The question was hypothetical. It's not the kind of question that I can insist on any particular answer. I think the Minister wasn't criticising the questioner. He was explaining why he believes New Zealanders will be able to own these shares and may arrive, therefore, I don't know whether he's arriving at an estimate or not, but I can't stop him at this stage. He hasn't departed from standing orders in answering the question so far. The Honourable Bill English to finish his answer.
Well, Mr Speaker, to use the term the member uses, that New Zealanders already own this, then any of those who don't actually put up cash to buy some of the shares will already own the shares that the government already owns.
Question number 11, Nikki Kay.
Mr Speaker, question to the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Order. I've called Nikki